Well. Man, we got a couple of new developments, and I'm sure we'll have more to come over this next week. But we got about 3 or 4 topics again we're going to talk about. Man, I've been having some technical difficulties, so hopefully I can work through those. The stream from yesterday disappeared. We blew out because of a power outage, so hopefully we don't get the same thing today. So we're going to see if we can make this thing work. So today we are going to talk about the Schottenheimer connection. And what we're going to be talking about is, for a few moments, we're going to be talking about DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf. And what DK Metcalf is, or at least it's being reported that he wants. So we're going to talk about a little bit about DK Metcalf. We're also going to talk about what I consider to be somewhat of a big story, Max Crosby. I want y'all to give me y'all opinions on Max Crosby and the deal that he signed. I just don't think anyone expected the Max Crosby deal. I know I didn't. I didn't expect the Max Crosby deal. And it makes me wonder, how is this going to fit into the whole Micah Parsons saga? We're going to talk about that tonight for a few moments. I think there's another major development out there, and it is the release of one Joey Bosa. I want to know what y'all think on the Joey Bosa issue. And maybe a couple other smaller issues, but those are the 3 big topics that we're going to talk about today on Let's Talk Cowboys, where we talk facts. Let me get some greetings in. Y'all hit that like button as you come in. Jigga Man, what's going on? Jigga Man said everybody's asking for a trade or getting a release. Can this be the ultimate year for the Cowboys? Jigga Man, let me tell you something. I'm pretty sure you're noticing it too. If the Cowboys want to, Cowboys can make some major, they can make a couple of moves right now that changes life. Right now that changes life. Lord Nova 85, what's going on? Rock and Roll Riley, what's going on? That man Dagon's filthy in the house. What's going on? Yes, sir. Greg Johnson, what's up? Georgie George, what's going on? Derek Jones in the crib, what's going on? Walter, what's going on? Man, this thing with Cowboys and this running back thing is interesting too. Gregory Davis, what's up? Walter said Joey, Jonathan Allen, and Hargrave will be released. Walter, I'm telling you, man, the Cowboys, if they want to, they can do something. Andre Mosley, what's up? Good to see you in the crib. All right, we're about 3 minutes in, guys. We're going to go ahead and get started. Let's get this discussion started with the Brian Schottenheimer connection. The Brian Schottenheimer connection. Y'all already know what happens the moment you get a coach from another team. The moment you get a coach from another team, everybody starts talking about players that are associated with that coach. Well, right now there are 2 players that people are talking about, and the 2 players are Tyler Lockett and one DK Metcalf. Now, I've seen where people are saying, at least people are saying, that that Tyler Lockett is going to retire. And, I talked about it a little bit yesterday. I think that Tyler Lockett might be, I think Tyler Lockett could challenge and put Jalen Tolbert in a chokehold for the number 2 receiver. The issue is, I don't know if the Cowboys will want Tyler Lockett. Maybe his price tag will be too high. I'm not sure where Pro Football Focus has one Tyler Lockett. But a lot of people are saying that Tyler Lockett is going to retire, so there's no need in talking about Tyler Lockett, at least some people are saying. Y'all tell me what you think in the chat. I'd be interested to know, what do you think about Tyler Lockett? I wonder what he could command on the open market, but I can tell you this, it definitely can't be what he was scheduled to hit the Seattle Seahawks for. I mean, I'm just wondering where he is. I haven't done my. I have not got my. I have not yet gotten my Pro Football Focus Plus subscription, which I plan on getting pretty soon. But some of y'all let me know kind of what do you think he's worth? What do you think he's ranked? And would it be in the Cowboys' best interest to be trying to go after one Tyler Lockett before we get to DK Metcalf? Walter said, can a Trey Hendrickson trade be possible for us? He wants an extension. We're going to see. And for me, when I think about Trey Hendrickson, he may be a little rich for the Cowboys' blood. We'll see what happens. I mean, Trey Hendrickson, man, let's look at the top. Trey Hendrickson is one of the top edge rushers in the league. So that becomes an issue too. You know, how much will these guys want? I mean, how much will they want? How much will Trey Hendrickson, how much will he want? And I think this is going to be the biggest hurdle for a lot of these. This is going to be the biggest hurdle for a lot of these guys coming out. Let's go to the top edge rushers. Let's see. I think Hendrickson. So here becomes the issue. You mentioned Trey Hendrickson. The issue with Trey Hendrickson. So he's 31 years of age. You mentioned Trey Hendrickson. He's he's 21 million average per year. Total guaranteed. At least this is what this contract looks like. 8 million and 8 million fully guaranteed. I'm assuming that's what he has, I guess, left on the contract. So yeah, he's looking for an extension, I'm pretty sure. The question is what the Cowboys trade for him. And that's the big question. What the Cowboys trade for him. Yeah, this is pretty much going to be his last season here. Prorated signing bonus 2.6 per game, roster bonus 200,000, cap number be 18 million. So the question is, will the Cowboys? I mean, I don't know. Maybe the money don't look too bad, but it all depends on what the Cowboys want to do. It all depends on what they want to do with Trey Hendrickson, or do they want to go in the draft? But for me, I think the more interesting thing is Joey Bosa. We'll circle the block on him. But, as it applies to Tyler Lockett, I'm not really sure if Tyler Lockett even wants to play again. And if he does, the only way Tyler Lockett is going to play for the Cowboys is that, to me, Tyler Lockett would have to be dirt cheap. That's the only thing I could see. He would have to be absolutely dirt cheap. Let me get some more greetings in and maybe some more answers on this. Hold on a second. Let me start. Gregory Davis said DK Metcalf will be a perfect fit at the X receiver for the Cowboys and Shotty at the helm. John Jones, what's going on? Andre Moses said go get DK and Tyler Lockett. Tyler Lockett would have to be cheap. He would definitely have to be cheap. Rockin' Riley said sign DK and then the Cowboys are Super Bowl contenders. Man, I'm telling you, DK Metcalf, to me, is the only one of these receivers that if we got Tyler Lockett, I wouldn't even be concerned about getting a wide receiver in the top 3 rounds. I would actually push that wide receiver to the back rounds because if you're getting DK Metcalf, you're not getting him less than 3 years. He's the only one of the free agent wide receivers that I can think of. He's the only one of the free agent wide receivers that changes the way I do the draft from the Cowboys. He's the only one that changes it. But anyone else, and that for me includes, if I hadn't been trying to think of his name, it would have came right to me. But Devontae Adams. If we get Devontae Adams, I think the Cowboys still need to go in the draft. We get DK Metcalf, we don't need to go in the draft. But again, when it comes to Tyler Lockett, I don't think Tyler Lockett is an option for the Cowboys. I mean, he could be if he's dirt cheap, but for me, I don't think Tyler Lockett is what you're looking for. Tyler Lockett, to me, is what you get in addition to a Devontae Adams, in addition to a DK Metcalf. I don't really see him as being the answer to the outside receiver the Cowboys so desperately need. I look at Tyler Lockett as a better Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks was a down the field guy. Tyler Lockett to me is more of a ball possession receiver, intermediate routes. Not saying he can't still get deep on you, but I don't see Tyler Lockett like that no more. To me, he would be a little bit more of an upgrade from Brandon Cooks. Y'all tell me what y'all think about that. Now, as it applies to DK Metcalf, let's roll on over here to X. Diana Rossini is reporting. And this, when I saw this right here, I posted on X, this is a Dallas Cowboy dream killer to me. The Seattle Seahawks are seeking a first and a third round pick for DK Metcalf. That's pretty rich. They're seeking a first and a third. It says that multiple teams have inquired. I'm not surprised. But also, it's on here. She says that Metcalf is also eyeing a new contract worth around $30 million per year. There's no way the Cowboys can afford that. I don't think many teams are going to be able to afford. I say that, but I just don't think many teams are going to be able to afford that. $30 million per year is number one wide receiver money. And that's not saying that DK Metcalf is not number one receiver, because he is. But we just paid CeeDee Lamb upwards of $31 million, somewhere in there. How do you come back and give DK Metcalf another $31 million? And they want a first and a third. Man, that right there is tough sailing. Some of these guys like this, I don't know what Seattle actually has in their mind as it applies to one DK Metcalf. But if I'm any other team, I'm waiting on this. I'm waiting on this. I mean, I'm really waiting on this. Maybe Seattle cuts him out, right? I don't know exactly what the situation is over there. But, man, DK Metcalf, $30 million and a first and a third? Boy, that's tough. That is tough right there. Tony Brown, 916, what's going on? He said, don't get neither. Poopy D, we're going to talk about Joey Bosa in a minute. Joey Bosa, to me, is a big deal. Trey Mosley said, trade a fifth-round pick for DK. Man, you'd have to trade the whole fifth round for DK, and I don't even know if they'll take that. He averaged 17.5 sacks in 2 seasons. Talking about Joey Bosa, right? Or we talking about Henderson. Georgie George says, Tyler is fast, but DK is quick and versatile, including strength. He said, I like DK better, but man, Tyler is fast and gets open for the ball fairly easy, you know. Yeah, that's why I call him a possession receiver. He's a possession receiver to me because, man, he definitely does seem to get open. He seems to be able to find spots in the zone. Very savvy veteran. But, you know, if Lockett wants to play, Lockett is actually more feasible. Lockett is a more feasible option because Lockett is not going to be commanding some $10 million. I don't even think Lockett is going to command even $10 million. Lockett is probably somewhere between 5 and 10. So I'd be very interested to see who would actually want to pay for Tyler Lockett. But I can tell you now, DK Metcalf is going to have some suitors. I mean, he's very young. What is he, about 26, 27? DK Metcalf, there are some teams that would literally be willing to make him the number one wide receiver on their team. I believe they would. Leandrew Sims, what's going on? John Fulton, what's going on? He said, but we got Mingo. He said, we got Mingo. Man, we should have never gave him a fourth-round draft pick for Mingo, but hopefully Jonathan Mingo proves us wrong. He's a Cowboy now. We'll see what it do. Walter, Micah X Trey would be crazy along with Osa. Trey Hendricks. Oh, yeah. Yeah, Trey Hendricks would be crazy. Yeah, I definitely agree with that too. I also think Bosa would be crazy. I think Bosa would be an absolute monster with Micah Parsons. I do. Walter said, I'm good on Lockett. He would just be another Brandon Cooks. I was just saying, you and me on the same wavelength. I just wonder if he would just be a slight bit upgrade to one Brandon Cooks. Might be a bigger upgrade. But anyway, Lewis Bailey, too small, too old, move on. Yeah. Yeah, that's why I keep thinking in my mind Brandon Cooks. Brandon Cooks. I would rather Dak have a bigger target than him. Todd Church said, we getting ready to get Cooper Kupp. I bet anyone. Man, you know what, Todd Church? I can't even debate you. They keep talking about Cooper Kupp. They talk about Cooper Kupp too much, and where there's smoke, there's fire. The Cowboys must be eyeing him a little bit. Todd Church, yeah. DK Metcalf, a first, a third, and $30 million. Brian Schottenheimer would literally have to convince this man to come here. There's no other way to get around it. He would have to convince him to come here for less money. I was thinking that DK Metcalf maybe $20 million. Even then, I don't even think the Cowboys would touch it. But $30 million, Cowboys have already moved on. They're not even thinking about DK Metcalf. But boy, DK Metcalf would be a dream wide receiver with CeeDee Lamb. Now, I also brought up on Monday, though. CeeDee Lamb says to him, according to him, and they got a write-up on CeeDee Lamb. They have a write-up on CeeDee Lamb. And let's look at that for a moment. They have a write-up on CeeDee Lamb on Athlon Sports. And it's kind of what we were talking about. Kind of what we were talking about the other day. Let me see. They might have moved it down a little further. Yeah, the new receiver rumors. We talked about it, and it looks like they've talked a little bit more about it again. And in his eyes, he just wants to get someone in here pretty much. He wants to get someone in here because he knows he needs help. But he's also made mention of 4 wide receivers in particular. Ted McMillan, Luther Burden III, Matthew Golden, I think, and Emeka Egbuka. And I really do think that CeeDee Lamb, while he says it doesn't matter which one, and I think he's talking about, it doesn't matter which one. I think he's talking about more of the rookies, but I also think he's saying that as it applies to even a veteran wide receiver. But I think in the grand scheme of things, with the money the Cowboys have paid CeeDee Lamb, and you're basically saying you want him to be one of the new triplets, I think the Cowboys would be better served. I think they would be better served getting a rookie wide receiver. I think they would be better served getting a rookie wide receiver. And then if they want to bring in a veteran wide receiver, I would then look to who are some of the good wide receivers that'll be in free agency. And I want to look at these for a moment too. And I want to circle back on, I want to hit the block again to circle back around to someone that you guys brought up the other day. I want to circle the block back around. People have mentioned Chris Godwin. I'm wondering what Chris Godwin is, what he's going to be commanding. Let me see here. They may have something on this. They do have some. Okay, so Pro Football Focus, I can't see it because of Pro Football Focus Plus, but Pro Football Focus has him as one of the top ranked, the second ranked wide receiver, I'm thinking in free agency is what it is. They have him ranked as the second best wide receiver. Could be a little rich for the Cowboys' blood on a Chris Godwin. They have Amari Cooper at third. I'm wondering if Amari Cooper would actually want to come back to Dallas. I wouldn't mind having Amari Cooper back. Stephon Diggs, I'm sorry. I don't want no part of Stephon Diggs. Y'all tell me what y'all think in the chat. I don't want no part of Stephon Diggs. Stephon Diggs has so much drama going on out here in social media. And with the kind of culture, locker room they're trying to create, they do not need this. They do not need the Stephon Diggs show, and we don't even know what he's going to look like when he comes back. They have DeAndre Hopkins at number 5. Marquise Brown, he's ranked number 37. I think the Cowboys, this is probably, if they're going to get a rookie, one of the top rookies, if they want to still look in the veteran range, I would probably be looking more down here towards the Keenan Allens, the Deontay Johnsons, maybe Mike Williams. I would be looking down here just to, because you want to keep the price down. You really want to keep the price down, especially if you're going to bring in a rookie. But let me circle the block on this. Devontae Adams. Devontae Adams for the right price. Because I think Devontae Adams, and I was just noticing here, maybe they don't have him on here because he has not been cut, but I thought he'd already been released, so maybe this is older. But Devontae Adams is out there, from what my understanding is, for the Cowboys to go get. If I were the Cowboys, I would definitely be thinking about Devontae Adams if the price is right. I really would. I would be thinking about Devontae Adams. Marlon Brando, what's going on? Marlon Brando, I'm with you. He says, how tall is Lockett? If he's not over 6 feet, no thank you. Yes, sir, I'm with you. That's why I mentioned more of a Brandon Cooks, but he would probably be an upgrade from a Brandon Cooks. Georgia George said Locker's a better Brandon Cooks. That's kind of what I'm thinking. Brandon Cooks comes to my mind. DK would elevate the Cowboys offense. You know what? DK does some things, though, Gregory, that would be a little bit different than some of these other wide receivers from this perspective. DK Metcalf would be good in the run game. He's a big body wide receiver, and he can block. He would be very good in the run game. Sizzling, what's going on with you? Andre said he does not want DK. Poobie D says no DK. Tony Brown says we can't do that. Probably talking about DK. Yeah, DK is almost impossible. Georgie George says he should go somewhere else if he desires that contract. Yeah, he is going to have to go somewhere. DK is going to the Chargers. Woo. I would not be surprised. That probably seems like the fit. John Fulton said we need experienced players in the trenches and get youth at the skill positions. I can see that too. I also want to look at the line. I have that on here, John Fulton. I got the offensive line. I want to look at that for a moment. Philip Loftus, Luther Burden. Yeah, a lot of people are big on Luther Burden. Rather trade for Chris Olive or Garrett Wilson. Yeah, Andre, I'm with you. Draft a wide receiver. Lewis Bailey, too much, and y'all left out the fact that he's a diva. Yes. You make a very good point, Lewis Bailey, because how do you have him to coexist with CeeDee Lamb? That would be, I think he could do it, but I think it would be tough too. DK is 27. Yeah, he's a young cat. So you get DK in the building, you're probably doing 3 or 4 years easy. Walter said, I'd much rather go for Kupp than Lockett. Yeah, I could see that too. I would definitely take Cooper Kupp over Tyler Lockett. The question is, for me, with Cooper Kupp, can he stay healthy? What's the money like? Can he stay healthy? What's the money like? Poobie D, just give Mingo a shot with Dak. Poobie D, we're going to see what Mingo is with Dak Prescott. Now, we do have 2 big-bodied receivers. It's just a matter of working them in. We got Ryan Flanoy, and we got Jonathan Mingo. Now, for sure, Jalen Tolbert is going to be relegated to the 3rd wide receiver. But I do think he's going to get challenged. And if I'm the Cowboys this year in training camp, I want him to get challenged. I'm actually telling Jalen Tolbert, you're playing for your job, bro. No more of this we like our guys stuff. No more of this stuff. No, I'm letting Jalen Tolbert understand, bro, you're playing for your job right now. Ryan Flanoy and Jonathan Mingo are going to get a shot at that 3rd spot. I would. I'd let him know. Yeah, I'm with you, Big C. We need a big X receiver. Again, Mingo is a large receiver. Flournoy is a large receiver. But I would love to see somebody like Ted McMillan for sure. But I got a strange feeling. The Cowboys are going to see if they can probably get Golden. I think they're going to try to get Golden from Texas. I think he may wind up being the Cowboys' first round draft pick. The Cowboys are kind of putting everybody on alert, and they've been kind of buzzing about this also out there in the media. They're buzzing about this. Some people are a little bit perturbed. Well, I should say over at Athlon Sports, some people are perturbed because the Cowboys seem to be playing their hand on what they're going to do at running back. And the consensus is the Cowboys are not going to do Ashton Jeanty, even if he's there at number 12. And a few people, I shouldn't say a few people, more than a few people are a little bit up in arms about this. It says here, the Dallas Cowboys own the number 12 pick in the first round, and they are telegraphing to the world, it seems, one of their plans with that pick. And suddenly those plans do not seem to include taking a running back. Now, let's understand why they're doing this. The reason why they're not looking at a running back is because of what happened in the combine. There are some running backs, man. I'm telling you, I am praying the Cowboys get 2 backs. I want them to get a back in the second and a back in the 5th. This draft is loaded with running backs. Get a back in the second, a back in the 5th. What's going on, Nisi? Good to see you in the chat today. Mingo hasn't played with that kid. I think he's going to show up. Oh, I hope he does. I hope he does. It'll be great. Mingo is young. He's going to get his opportunity. He's going to get his opportunity for sure. Big C from the Tennessee. What's going on with you, my man? What's going on? He says that Bosa injury, he said Bosa injury prone ain't it. Maybe one of the reasons why the Chargers let him go. D and Lee's life, what's going on? He said, hey, you heard Trey Henderson was granted permission to speak a trade from the Bengals. Yeah. Now the question on Trey Henderson, what will he command at the pay front? But I'll tell you guys this. For me, I think the Dallas Cowboys fix is easy, and then I'm going to read this super chat. The Cowboys, to me, need 2 things. A wide receiver to complement CeeDee Lamb. And I mean a great wide receiver to complement him. They need to get the best receiver available in the draft if this is the route they're going. And right now, it's either Ted McMillan, Golden, or Emeka Egbuka. It's those 3. They need a running back. Cowboys need to either get Jeanty, which seems to be out of the picture, Hampton, because the Cowboys could really shock us and trade back. The Cowboys may trade back because depending upon how the top 10 goes, Emeka, Ted McMillan, and Golden may be there even if they trade back so they can get an extra pick. And the Cowboys I think they're seeing that they can get the running back in the second round if they want it. So they may trade back, get a wide receiver, and get whoever they want in the second, or they could shock us and go cornerback in the second and go running back in the third. And who knows, still get one of those top 3 backs, but at the very least, they're going to get one of the top 6 backs. So the Cowboys, in their thinking, they think they can get value even if they don't get Jeanty. They think they can get value. But it's saying here, they're telegraphing to the world their plans at that pick. It says, and those plans do not seem to include taking a running back. All signs point to the team using one of their picks to select a much-needed ball carrier, maybe at number 44 in the second round, or maybe at number 676 in the third round of the upcoming draft. I believe it. Because from what we saw at the combine, the Cowboys are going to be able to not only get a high quality back, they're going to be able to get value the further back they pick. It says the reason for the decision to go away from the running back at number 12, that can be justified. For as much as they might like running backs like Ashton Jeanty, it is being rumored the Raiders are going to get Jeanty, which I can believe if they don't trade up to number 1 with Tennessee and get Shedeur Sanders. We're going to see how that turns out. But it says for as much as they might like running backs like Ashton Jeanty, Boise State, and Amarian Hampton from North Carolina in this draft, they surely do. There could be enough depth at the position to simply plan on taking one later, for sure. Now, this is the one that surprised me. Y'all tell me who is, I'm just being honest, Damian Martinez. I've heard nothing on Damian Martinez. I mean, when I saw this, I was shocked. Y'all let me know in the chat about this Damian Martinez. I had no clue who this is. I've been looking at NFL Draft Buzz, so let me go back. And I do not remember seeing him in the top 12. So this is obviously, he's number 15. Okay, so Damian Martinez. Okay, now let me look. Maybe I'm forgetting his name, Damian Martinez. Let's see here. Okay, I'm seeing. All right. So there's a story here. And then let's look at this real quick. Still a little bit. Okay. So it says here, the Miami Hurricanes' powerful back impressed many at the NFL Combine. It is hard to turn your head away from Damian Martinez, especially after the season he just had in the Hurricanes offense. When the number 1 quarterback in the class plays the way he plays, it might be hard for a running back to get some shine as well. Martinez did, and at the Combine, he could show more of his abilities. Martinez was widely praised for running a 4.51 40-yard dash at the NFL Combine on Saturday at Lucas Oil Stadium. That's probably the reason why I didn't think anything of it, because I wasn't tripping on guys running 4.5s. I mean, I was looking at the 4.40. I mean, the 4.40 guys. It says Martinez finished 15th out of 24 running backs in the 40-yard dash. Former wide receiver Bashard Smith of SMU finished third amongst running backs at the NFL Combine by running a 4.39. Bashul Tootin, that's who I like. Bashul Tootin, he killed it. Bashul Tootin ran for 141 yards and a touchdown for Virginia Tech versus Miami in 2024. He led all running backs with 4.32. If I'm the Cowboys, I would definitely have my eye on Bashul Tootin. I would have my eyes on Bashul Tootin. But it says here, they have their eyes on Martinez. Was also tied in the 10-yard split, running the 40-yard dash and participating in the broad and the vertical jump. So, y'all tell me, this guy for me is kind of coming out of woodworks for me. I'm a little bit surprised. I mean, y'all tell me. This is kind of a surprise to me. Some of y'all are bigger on college football, way bigger on college football than I am. So y'all tell me where you are on this Martinez kid. But they're kind of telegraphing that they may be looking at him. What's going on, Hassani? He said exactly what I said about Diggs. We don't need this. Need his offset and Carter B. Oh, man. Bro, he got more than that going on. Man, this dude got a lot going on. Yeah, I'm with you. We could not have that drama in Dallas. It's just too much. Georgie says we can draft Adams. We can get Adams. Draft the wide receiver. If you get Adams, I say you still draft the wide receiver. Maybe you don't draft one of those top wide receivers. I mean, unless you just want to. I would still like to have I would still like to have Golden. I would still like to have Golden. I would still like to have Mecca, even if we got Adams. There's no reason in not having them. John Fulton, He says no on Adams. He looks much slower. Some people are still saying that Adams is a beast, but I don't know if maybe he just wasn't playing with the quarterbacks he wanted to play with, the team he wanted to play with. I just didn't think he looked right with the Raiders and the Jets. I didn't think he looked right. Dominique, what's going on? Barry Brown, what's going on? Oh, let me read this super chat. I forgot, y'all. Let me stop. Let me not be rude here. My man Roger, appreciate that super chat. Yes, sir. There are some great free agents out there for the taking. And we're going to talk in a moment. Somebody's already mentioned that Joey Bosa is injury prone. And my question is, then maybe we could get him in a rotation. I wonder about that part and how cheap could we get him. But there are going to be even more people, I believe, getting released as we get closer to free agency. Nisi said, we've had brothers before, Jalen Smith and his brother. I remember that. They were nice. The Diggs brothers, I'll pass. Yes, I'm with you, Nisi. She said, the Diggs brothers, I'll pass. She said, Trayvon is talking trash about Dak by himself. Imagine Stephon not getting the ball. Madness. Oh, I'm 100% with you. I just don't think this team could handle Stephon Diggs. Not to mention, y'all get prepared. I'm not going to be surprised if the Cowboys walk away from Trayvon Diggs. I'm not going to be surprised if the Cowboys walk away from Trayvon Diggs. And if they don't walk away from him this season, it will be this season. The finish of this season, unless Trayvon Diggs just balls out, Cowboys will be done with Trayvon Diggs. I'm telling you, he got to ball out. He has to ball out. And I would not want the drama of getting Stephon Diggs, cutting Trayvon Diggs. I wouldn't want it. Too much. Tony, I thought about D-Hop. Y'all tell me what you think on D-Hop. I think D-Hop could contribute, but, man, I watched him in that Super Bowl. Struggling with D-Hop, too. Yeah, we need to draft the receiver. I'm with you, Lee Andrew Sims. I'm hoping we get the best one available. Unless it seems like to me the Cowboys may also have in their minds trade back. I think they may have in their minds trading back. Keenan Allen can ball. He's good. Yeah. Keenan Allen is a bigger bodied receiver. Dave Moore said Dak would love Lockett. Oak Cliff Rockefeller, what's going on? He said, don't trust DK Health. He's tenderish and Kyle's med staff are shady. Yeah, I know what you're talking about. Cowboys medical staff. I see a Joey Galloway investment shaky deal. Man, I can tell you right now, though, I already think the price is way too rich. Lewis Bailey said if we can get a dog wide receiver out of the draft, we can sneak in a couple of wins before the teams wake up. Yes, sir. You know what, though? I'm going to tell you, Mike McCarthy said something, Lewis, and I give him credit for it. Mike McCarthy said, you want to get those, if you can, you want to get those 4 wins. You want to get those 4 wins in free agency. While everyone else is trying to get it together, if you can go 4-0 in September, man, it carries some weight. John Fulton, Tober would be great if he would just attack the football instead of letting it get to him. Whoa, I like that. I like that analogy. Yeah, I like that. That's true. That is definitely true. I'm with you on that part right there. You know, and at the end of the day, I think Tobin is just the third. But he going to have to really step it up. Because I'm telling you, Mingo going to get a shot. Mingo and Flournoy, they're going to be wrestling him for that spot. So he better get on his A game. And he better get on his A game quick. Wicked, what's going on? He said, I'm over here befuddled because we haven't signed Justin Fields yet. I got to go to court in a couple of weeks. I may be missing for a couple of months if they send me to jail. You ain't going to jail, Wicked. You'll be good. We praying for you. You ain't going to jail. No, I don't think they're going to sign him. And the guy who I think they're going to wind up signing as a quarterback, it will not surprise me if they get the quarterback from Alabama. It's not going to surprise me because he kind of reminds me. He kind of reminds me of what Dak Prescott was when Dak Prescott came out of Mississippi State. A lot of people may not realize before Dak Prescott became a quarterback that could run, Dak Prescott was a running quarterback he was a running quarterback before he became a quarterback that can run. Dak Prescott was kind of like a running quarterback. Y'all tell me what you think. But he kind of reminds me of the same style of what Dak Prescott was when he came out of Mississippi State. And I might dare say the kid from Alabama might be a little bit more dynamic in the foot game than Dak was coming out of Mississippi State. I think he might be a little bit better in the foot game. My man Roderick, he said, whoever the Cowboys get, they need to make sure that the players fit the scheme. And I think this was another reason why they need the bigger body receivers. Because if you're going to run the ball, Oak Cliff Rockefeller, he said, Wicked, did you do it? He said, did you do it? Oh, man, you got me rolling up in here. Keenan Allen isn't a bad pickup. You could probably get him for a good price, too. He might be good to go with the young guys. Warren Miles, I've been saying it. We need 2 running backs. I think we need one in the first, one in the fifth, or either one in the second or one in the fifth. I think we need 2. The speed in this draft is so good. And the speed and the size. I would get 2 of them. James Nixon, I'll get Golden in the first. I will not be surprised if the Cowboys do it. Golden was impressive in the combine. And, man, if you go back and look at this dude tape, yeah, he the real deal. He the real deal. I'd love to have him. Barry Brown, a veteran running back, would be good with a rookie running back as well. Now, me, the veteran that I've been talking about, Barry Brown, good to see you this afternoon or this evening. I've been talking about Nick Chubb because I think we can get him dirt cheap. And I know he's had some injuries, but he's not going to be the starting running back anyway. He's going to be more of a part of a 1-2 punch and hopefully a 1-2-3 punch if I'm the Cowboys. John Fulton said that Keenan would be a good addition for a year or 2. Now, remember, I did a video on this, and we looked at Jerry Jones yesterday. And I don't think people understand what Jerry Jones is saying, but I understand exactly what Jerry is saying. Jerry is saying we're not trying to fill the roster spots through free agency. Now, let's not get this confused. They're going to be on the roster. That's if you get someone in free agency, they're going to be on the roster. But the people to me, and I think this is what Jerry is saying, and I know this is what he's saying, the players you get in free agency, you want them to be impact players. You want the guy you get in free agency, you want to say, he's going to make a difference. He's going to be the difference in a game, 2 games, 3 games. When we get down there in the playoffs, he's going to make a difference. Those are the type of players you're looking for. That's why the Cowboys, you get a running back. You're not getting him to actually, I don't even think you're getting him to necessarily be the starting running back because I don't think the Saquon Barkley, that was last year. The Saquon Barkley, Derrick Henry running backs were out there last year. So this is one of the reasons why the Cowboys, if they get a Nick Chubb, you're trying to get someone to say, hey, he's an immediate impact because Nick Chubb is kind of like a home run hitter. I don't put him on the level of Saquon. I don't put him on the level of Derrick Henry. But Nick Chubb is the type of dude you can bring in for a series or 2. Nick Chubb, boy, he'll get busy. And you mess around and give him a crease, Nick Chubb will go. He'll go on you. Even with injuries, Nick Chubb will go on you. But the Cowboys have really got to be looking in free agency. And don't get discouraged, Cowboys fans. They're going to play in free agency. The Cowboys are going to play in free agency. They are. They are looking for an impact player. That's all they're looking. And I think they're looking for impact players. They're looking for impact players. And we have not yet seen what we're going to see by Monday. Boy, it's going to heat up on Monday. I'm telling y'all, it's going to heat up on Monday, and there'll be more people out there. There'll be more people out there. There are going to be people to be had in free agency, I'm telling you. Pure gaming, I'm with you. We need a running back duo for sure, like what the Lions have. Speed running back and a power running back. I am with you. And you can actually do that through the draft. And I do like the fact of having younger running backs. I would like to have a veteran on the team. But I like the idea of the younger running backs. I really do. Lewis Bailey said, with the money that free agent edge rusher, we might keep D-Law. I think they're going to keep D-Law if they can. These edge rushers are going to command some money, but I wouldn't rest on my laurels if I'm the Cowboys. I would still, if I'm the Cowboys, I would still be trying to kick the tires on what can I do to improve the defense. Because I'm going to be honest with you. What I want the Cowboys to do, man, I want them to get a defense out of this world. I want them to get a defense out of this world. I want the Cowboys to get the type of defense that can hold every team below 17 points. That's asking a lot, but that's what I want them to do. I'm just being honest with you. Get right or get left. What's going on with you tonight? Get right. He said for Wicked's bail fund. Man, Wicked ain't going no jail. Wicked gonna be good with it. So I'm with you on this whole thing about the dual running backs. I definitely think we need that. But I also think you look at another model because, hey, guys, I'm going to tell you something. I said this early in the season. When it comes to winning Super Bowls, you need three things. And you need more things, I'm sure. But for me, there are three main things that you need. You need to be able to control the trenches. That's number one. So that's offense and defense. So I'm going to throw in four things. You need a really good team all the way around. And I'm talking coaching and everything. You need a good team. You need to be good in the trenches. Number three, and this is one of the things that people do not factor in. You need health. It's a battle of attrition. If there's one team that showed us this is a battle of attrition, it is the Detroit Lions. I'm going to tell y'all right now, and let me give you the fourth, and you need luck. And the reason why I say it's a battle of attrition, and let's include that with luck, guess why? Because not only do you need to stay healthy, but let me tell you where the luck comes in. Other teams not being healthy. Other teams not being healthy. When you're healthy and other teams aren't healthy, the team who might have been picked to go all the way and be in your way, if that team is not healthy and you're healthy, you're probably going to beat that team. Because I'm going to tell you right now, I don't think the Philadelphia Eagles, I would love to see this. And if you're a Philadelphia Eagle fan, you're going to probably get a little bit upset right now. I don't think they beat the Detroit Lions if the Detroit Lions are not decimated with injuries on defense. Man, y'all think the Cowboys were decimated? Y'all not hearing me, man. I'm telling you. I mean, the Detroit Lions towards the end, I mean, they were basically playing with furniture movers, guys, I mean, stockers from Walmart. I mean, the Detroit Lions, man, they just got decimated on defense. They got decimated. And a lot of people do not realize that early on in the season, they were putting up points. But there's another part of this game that people didn't understand the Detroit Lions were playing. And they were also stopping teams from scoring points. Man, the Detroit Lions early in the year were mauling teams. The defense started going down one by one by one by one. And before you know it, their entire defense is almost decimated. And they couldn't afford for Jared Goff. And a couple of those turnovers by Jared Goff were unforced. They couldn't afford for Jared Goff to have the kind of game he had with the defense like it was. So, again, I'm telling y'all, the Philadelphia Eagles, we probably would have had a whole different playoffs if the Detroit Lions had not got decimated on defense. And that includes everyone's beloved Washington Commanders. I'm telling y'all, I think at the end it would have been none other than Philly and Detroit. And Philly at full speed, full power, boy, it'd have been tough. It would have been tough on Philly to get past Detroit because for all intents and purposes, who didn't think with the way Detroit was mauling teams, they were literally going to walk into the Super Bowl? They were walking in. There was no doubt about it in anybody's mind. The Detroit Lions were the best team in the NFC, and they were walking in had it not been for injuries. But again, I'm telling you, people do not understand. You need everything I'm telling you. You need to be able to control the trenches. You need to have a good team. You need to be healthy, and you need some luck. And the luck is you're healthy, and the teams that you're playing are not healthy. And that happened for the Philadelphia Eagles. And what I mean by that, the Detroit Lions. The Detroit Lions changed the playoffs. They did. James Grover, appreciate that super chat. He said Vosh Raid. Vosh Raid, okay? Fill me in on what that means. But I'm telling us, man, we need those 4 things. And so as we get this team built, man, we're going to have so many. There are going to be some more free agents out there. There are going to be some more free agents out there. And I understand the Dallas Cowboy fans. I'm not tripping on none of the Dallas Cowboy fans, man. I be on X, and y'all go follow me on X on the Let's Talk Cowboys. But I'm telling you, boy, X is a different. Man, when I tell y'all X is a different community, I just don't think there's no social media platform like X, man. People on X are brutal. But I digress. There are a lot of people on X, man, and every time somebody comes available, everybody wants the next big free agent. And right now, everybody is wanting the Cowboys to go get DK Metcalf, and people keep saying we can go get DK Metcalf. But I'll be honest with y'all, and y'all tell me where you're at on this. Do not get me wrong. I would love to have DK Metcalf. DK Metcalf is too rich for the Cowboys. A first and a third? Jerry Jones has already said they're going to build a team through the draft. The Cowboys are not looking for a DK Metcalf deal. In actuality, the Cowboys are looking for a Devontae Adams deal. That's really what they're looking for. They're looking for a Devontae Adams deal. They're looking for a deal to where they don't have to trade any draft capital. Jerry said it in his interview. Draft capital is at a premium. So you don't want to go to a team talking about trading. You want them coming to you. It's at a premium. They don't want to give that up. With DK Metcalf, you're giving up half your draft almost. You don't have a fourth. You give up a first. You give up a third. Does DK Metcalf, does he really put your offense in that type of position? Because the only thing you're going to be left with is a second-round draft pick, and then, of course, you have to get a running back. So that would give you your running back. That would give you a wide receiver. But the question is this. Who were you going to get with that third? How does missing that third-round draft pick, how does that change what you were trying to do? Can you now go back in the fifth and get what you were trying to get in the third? What are they trying to get in the third? I got a strange feeling. They are wanting to go defense in the third or the second. They probably either want to go tackle or cornerback. I think the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys should address cornerback in free agency. Because I don't think you want to bring in a guy who got to learn the position unless you're literally getting the top corner in this draft and they're going to come in like a Patrick Surtain. I mean, if you get that type of cornerback, okay, go get him. But if you can't get that type of cornerback in the draft, if you're not willing to do that, than go in free agency. But again, y'all tell me, looking at free agency, I don't know if is it rich in cornerback? I mean, is it really rich at that position? Because if it's rich at that position, then you got to consider maybe doing that in free agency. But DK Metcalf, if you get DK Metcalf, man, he changes everything. He changes some of the things you're going to do in the draft. You got to be willing to accept that too. Buddha, what's going on? Yes, sir. No digs. I'm with you. Delta Roots, what's going on? He said, what you think about acquiring Nick Bolton? Man, let me tell you something. I don't know about Nick Bolton, but Josh Sweat, woo, man. Josh Sweat is what you call aggressive to me. And you know what? Y'all were having a discussion the other day in the chat. Let me circle the block on this too. Y'all were having a very interesting discussion. And let me see if this guy's in here. This guy right here. Y'all were talking about him in the chat yesterday, and I find this to be very interesting because Chanel was talking about this guy saying he's better than one Osa Odigizua, Milton Williams. Now, Milton Williams, people are saying that this dude is going to be a difference maker, and he's going to, now that Osa Odigizua has gotten paid what he got paid, they're saying that the price on Milton Williams should go up because I think some view him as being better than one Osa Odigizua. Y'all tell me what you think. But if I'm the Cowboys, this is one of those types of moves right here. I would be looking at, can we get this guy? Can we bring in Milton Williams? What is the price on Milton Williams? I would love to know. Because I'm telling y'all, I want the Cowboys to build a stellar defense. I want them to build an absolute stellar defense because I don't think their offense really requires as much to fix as we may think. The line is there. They're already convinced the line is there. So you need now a run game. You need the running backs. I think you need two. And I think you need two young ones. And if you want, throw in a veteran. And you need one more wide receiver. So in the grand scheme of things, this is going to be easily achievable for the Dallas Cowboys. First round, wide receiver. I would go get the Golden Kid. Or you can't lose with him, Ted, or a Mecca. Get a wide receiver. Second round, I would get a running back. I actually wouldn't wait till the third. I would get the running back in the second. Third round, if you want to address whatever you want to address on defense, whether it be another edge rusher, whether it be another defensive tackle, whether it be a linebacker, whether it be a cornerback that you want to start developing, you can do that. But then when you get to the fifth, I want you to circle the block again. Get another running back. Get another running back. Maybe get you a safety. I would love for the Cowboys to bring in Shiloh Sanders. Shiloh Sanders. But get you a safety back there in that fifth round. Maybe get you another linebacker back there in that fifth round. But go after that, the Cowboys, circle the block, get another wide receiver. So you get two wide receivers, two running backs, everything else, defense. Defense. Because in actuality, yes, Dak Prescott needs a run game. Yes, CeeDee Lamb needs a wide receiver. Easily addressable. The issue to me, whether people accept it or not, this Cowboys defense has been fool's gold for years. It's been fool's gold. When the rubber meets the road, we have not been able to stop the run. We've front loaded our defensive stats. We will front load and be the number one defense for the first 10 weeks of the season. We'll be in the top 5 for the first 12 weeks of the season. But then we got these games in there where we play really good teams and they shred us and destroy us. And then we go into the playoffs and everybody is saying we got this top defense. And then if we're looking at it on tape, though, and we're saying, but it's really not that good. It's really not that good when we start looking at it on tape. We need a bona fide defense. And I'm not talking about a defense that can just hold a San Francisco 49er team to 19. No, I'm talking about a defense that says We can hold you to 13 on any given day. We're going to sack your quarterback. We're going to get your running back for losses. We're going to turn you over, strip sack fumbles. We're going to make your quarterback commit errors. We're going to get 2 or 3 interceptions in a playoff game. And the defense is going to win a game in the playoffs. Rather than us going into every playoff season saying, well, we only go as far as Dak take us. No, we go as far as the team take us. Let Dak lead us, but let the team win. We know Dak is the leader, but he can't do it all. And putting Dak in the playoffs with 1 wide receiver, putting Dak in the playoffs with a skeptical run game. Man, if you're doing that, man, you better sure enough have a lights-out defense. We've not had a lights-out defense. People do not realize the 90s Cowboys had lights-out defenses. It is time for the Cowboys to get a lights-out defense. And I'm just being honest with you. It will not hurt my feelings. Y'all tell me in the chat what you think on this. It is not going to hurt my feelings. If the Cowboys go in free agency and go all defense, won't hurt my feelings. Will not hurt my feelings one bit. As long as they go in this doggone free agency and they get impact players. Impact players. And I think there are some impact players in here on defense. Someone today was telling me, because I had mentioned Khalil Mack, they said they wouldn't want Khalil Mack. I would want Khalil Mack as a if you're talking about someone as a pass rushing specialist, I would welcome Khalil Mack. I would welcome Khalil Mack. But there are a couple of guys in here that I really, really think the Cowboys ought to be looking at. I wish, and I don't think they are, but I do wish the Cowboys would really consider Josh Sweat. Boy, I really wish they would consider Josh Sweat. I do. I wish they would consider Josh Sweat on defense. I wish they would consider Hassan Reddick on defense. Kavarius Ward. Now, he's one of these cornerbacks. I wonder, can he really be, because I don't want him just to be, okay, we're filling the roster spot with Kavarius Ward. No, I want Kavarius Ward, if you bring him in, we got to be able to say, no, he's better. He's better than Trayvon Diggs. That's the kind of impact we want. We want this Rasul Douglas. He could possibly be one of those guys. We already got our man Oso Digizua. Got him on a great contract. Milton Williams again. I'm telling you, if I was the Cowboys, I would still be trying to kick the tires on Milton Williams. What is this price going to be? I would want to know this. And this guy right here, Dre Greenlaw, I'm sorry. I got to see what's the price. What will it take to bring him in? If I'm the Cowboys, the defense. They need a lights out defense. Because you already got your quarterback. You already got your wide receiver. We need to see what Ferguson's going to do this year. Ferguson, a schoolmaker for me, they're going to put up a shut up. And I would not be in so love with them that if they're not showing me what I want to see, I would still be looking for something else, even beyond them, if they're not showing me something coming up in this preseason. But again, the Cowboys, to me, they have got to be looking at defense. They need a lights-out defense. Talanoa Hufanga, I saw some things on him. Another person that I think the Cowboys need to be looking at, y'all tell me what y'all think. I think the Cowboys should be trying to really decide what they're going to do with Eric Kendricks. For folk who do not know, Eric Kendricks was a beast for the Cowboys this past season. Eric Kendricks was one of the best defensive players they had. We really need to consider. We really need to consider him. Is he a possibility to bring in? I would really, if I'm the Cowboys, I would really be thinking about it. And they've been talking about this kid right here. And I'm going to go to the comments. You guys tell me what you're thinking on some of the things I'm saying. And then I want to go to the Crosby issue. But there's also been some talk about the kid from Kansas City. I think he could be a little rich for the Cowboys' blood. This guy right here. I'm sure a lot of you guys recognize this guy right here. Nick Bolton. Someone mentioned him in the chat earlier. Nick Bolton. Cowboys really, the Cowboys need to really try to look into this. I mean, I'm just being honest with you. The skill positions, as someone mentioned in the chat, I'm in total agreement. Those guys, for me, I can deal with them being younger because I got an older CeeDee Lamb. I can deal with my wide receiver coming in from the draft being young. But the running backs, hey, man, you want them to be young because when they come into the league, man, a lot of those running backs be crazy with it. They just be crazy with it when they come in. They do. Yes, sir, Delta Rouge. That's what we're looking at. Nick Bolton. And again, I told you already, Josh Sweat, man, I would absolutely love it. I would absolutely love it. Ice Cold Cowboy, what's going on with you, man? He said 49 likes, 219 peeps in there. Hit that like button for sure. I agree with him. Now we up to 335. Y'all hit that like button. Danny, what's going on? I see you in here. What's going on? What's going on? He said, got to upgrade linebacker. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's why I think that, you know, when you start talking about guys like, when you start talking about some of these guys like Nick Bolton. Nick Bolton is not just a roster spot. Nick Bolton is the kind of guy that Jerry was talking about. A guy that comes in and he makes an impact. Nick Bolton is that guy. We've seen him been jumping off. We've seen him jumping off our screen. Yeah, Lazard. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Lazard for sure. Could Shotty bring a catalyst? The 70s fan, that's my question. The Shotty connection. Because he would literally have to convince Metcalf to come in here at a cheaper price. But Buddha, yeah, I was kind of with Hopkins. I was kind of like, man, he might be a little too old. Yeah, Skull and I was kind of like, yeah, I was kind of wondering if he's a little too old. And I saw the drop he had in the Super Bowl, and I was kind of like, ooh, man, he had a major drop. Thornton Jr., yes, sir, wide receiver from Tennessee. Man, I got a video on him. Boy, they've been striking me on my videos, so I've been making those members-only videos. I got a video on him I'm going to put out, too. Yeah, Thornton Jr. is a beast. Give me DK and give me Golden for the first round. Well, you get them. Well, you ain't going to be able to get Golden in the first round if you get DK because they want a first and a third for him. Yeah, they want a first and a third, and he wants a $30 million contract. Yeah, he wants to be in that top 5 pay. Yeah. Trayvon Diggs, the injuries. Hey, man, I'm telling you, they're going to probably walk away from Trayvon Diggs. I do. I think they're going to walk away from him. There's no doubt in my mind. And if it don't be this year, it'll be the end of this season. Unless he comes back and balls out and stays healthy. But, man, hey, Dante Fowler, I'd definitely bring him back cheap. Because Dante Fowler is going to be cheap. If I was Cowboys, I would bring back Dante Fowler for sure. 70s fan, I only trade back if we get in the 4th round. Now, y'all remember what I said. This could come to fruition, and I know we're not thinking about it. I would be hard-pressed. I find it hard to believe. Kevontae Turpin is out there. If everything holds true, I would find it hard to believe the Cowboys are going to put Kevontae Turpin out there for the taking for a 2nd-round tender. Man, I just find it hard to believe that somebody don't take that. I would be shocked if no one takes it. And you think about it, if someone picks that, if they say Kevontae Turpin could really help us get to the next level, he might be another missing piece. A team that's right there. I hate to lose Turpin, but you get a 2nd-round pick. And I'm telling you, man, if the Cowboys could get 2 seconds, boy, that's a big deal. That's a big deal. Ice Cold at 12, we can get another 2 or 3, even a bonus fourth rounder. Ice Cold, I am not going to be surprised, guys, if the Cowboys trade that number 1 pick. Because to me, if you don't want Genty, you're actually, and this seems like one of those things that Jerry says we have some things dangling out there, like some trades. It sounds like the first round draft pick may be one of those. They're asking the question in that article, why are the Cowboys broadcasting what they're going to do in the run game? Now, I don't know if they're necessarily broadcasting what they're going to do at the running back position, but I do think they're broadcasting if someone wants Ashton Genty. If someone wants our 12, we're not using it to get Ashton Genty. Who is the player that they're going to use that number 12 pick on? I think the Cowboys may be saying, somebody come get this number 12 pick, because we want to go back to maybe 18 and get a Golden or an Emeka, or Ted could even fall back that far. We'll take that and still get Omarion Hampton in the second, or a Travion Henderson, or a Hendricks. I mean, you can still get huge value picking up an extra pick. And we have the potential with that 12th round draft pick. We don't have a 4th. Man, we could mess around and get 2 2s. Somebody mess around and get Turpin. That's 2 2s. We trade back that first round pick. Man, we could mess around and get 2 2s and 2 3s. Or come out of this thing with 2 3s. Still getting a running back that we want. I got a feeling the Cowboys are trying to bait people into saying, hey, we'll take that 12. We'll take that 12. Now, I'm still hoping against hope that Cleveland come up and say, hey, man, we'll just take that 12. We'll take that 12. And we'll give you Myles Garrett, because Myles Garrett don't want to be here. Because I'm telling y'all, Myles Garrett got the Cleveland Browns in the chokehold. They think they got him in the chokehold, but I think he has them in the chokehold too. I'm not negotiating with you. So if you don't trade me, I will still be in good enough health that when I walk away in 2 years, I'm going to go to who I want to go to anyway, and you're not going to get anything, which at the most, maybe some form of compensatory pick. If I'm the Cleveland Browns, I would be shopping him. Now, I heard the Cleveland Browns went and converted some more of Deshaun Watson's contract to, I think, a signing bonus or something like that, freeing up money. So they may try to go get them a cheap quarterback and see if they can make a run. But again, Deshaun Watson snapped that Achilles again. He will not be playing, I'm pretty sure, this season. So the only thing they're going to wind up getting out of Deshaun Watson is next season. We'll see if that even works. Quarterback from Alabama. That means a second round pick. You don't think I think he'll be back there in the 5th. I don't think anybody's going to get him in the 2nd. You think so? I don't think anybody's going to get him. I don't. I think he'll be available down there. Andrew Rebel Chicks, what's going on? Vach Raid. You gotta feel me. Okay, Vach Lombardi Raid. Okay, I was thinking, okay, what does that mean when you say Vach Lombardi Raid? What does that mean? Y'all hit me out. Does that mean he in the chat or something? Y'all gotta help me out. But again, I'm telling us, the Cowboys, they are going to have some options. But again, let's close the Shotty connection, because I'm telling us, in order to get DK Metcalf, and man, I'm telling you, I would love to have DK Metcalf. I'm not going to even front. Boy, I'd love to have DK Metcalf. I just don't think it's going to happen. I think it's too rich for the Cowboys' blood. I think that he's just too rich for the Cowboys' blood. The only way it could happen is Brad Schottenheimer would literally have to have would literally have to have some type of conversation with him. And you got to really talk this man into, hey, man, we're going to win the Super Bowl in 2026. We want you to be a part of the run. Would you be willing to take a $20 million deal? My question for y'all in the chat, how low would you be willing? What is the most we'd be willing to pay for what is the most we'd be willing to pay for DK Metcalf? That's a question too. Because for me, hey, he wants $30 million. Okay, what will you take though? That's the question. What will you take? What will you take? Double Star, what's going on? Yeah, D-Law, I think he will be back, but it all depends on D-Law gonna have to come off some of that money. He's gonna have to come off some of that money, he is for sure. Now, let's go to this thing about Max Crosby. I find this to be fascinating.
Yes! Here we go!
Boy, let me tell y'all. Cherry Steven. Max Crosby has thrown the Raiders, and Max Crosby, in my opinion, has thrown an absolute monkey wrench. They have literally thrown a monkey wrench in the fan as it applies to the Micah Parsons thing. I'm pretty sure y'all all have seen this. When I saw this, all I could say was, oh, man. Max Crosby gets $106.5 million. Contract from the Raiders, highest paid non-quarterback in NFL history. I did not expect this. Y'all tell me what you think. I didn't expect this. I did not expect this. I kind of figured the Cowboys would sign Micah Parsons between Monday and Friday, latest maybe Saturday, Sunday. And I didn't think that there would be anybody signed in between Micah Parsons. I mean, it was literally the furthest thing from my mind. And I'll be a monkey's uncle. Max Crosby messes around and signs a $106.5 million deal with the doggone Raiders. It's a 3-year, $106.5 million deal with $91.5 million guaranteed. Now, y'all might not remember what I said, but what did I tell y'all if I was Micah Parsons? What did I tell you just yesterday? This is the deal I would want if I was Micah Parsons. Man, forget all that inflated, yeah, man, he's signing a $200 million deal. And then you go back and look at the guaranteed money and you be like, yeah, $50 million guaranteed. I don't want that deal. I like the Watt deal. I think it's TJ Watt or the Watt deal. Don't focus on that front end mess because that requires a lot of incentives and all of these things. No, you know the deal I would take, but now it's going to have to be different. But if I was Micah Parsons before this deal, tell you what I'll do, Dallas. I'll just take a $30 million deal. I'll take $120 million guaranteed over 4 seasons, come hell or high water. No roster bonuses, none of that stuff. Just give me $30 million per year. I'll come in up under Nick Bosa. But in reality, my contract is just as valuable. Why? Because of the fully guaranteed money. You may not see the total guarantees. That's all kinds of little stuff mixed in there. Not the total stuff. No. Give me the fully guaranteed. That's where I want to live. Give me the fully guaranteed. You give me the fully guaranteed, I'm in there. I'm in there. And this is a fantastic deal. $91.5 million guaranteed. Kind of wondering how it all shakes down. But at the end of the day, I love that deal. I love that deal. Focus on the guaranteed money. And I would love to see what is the fully guaranteed money. Because as I look up Max Crosby's contract, y'all tell me this. And I already know what the answer is going to be for all of y'all. So if Max Crosby got this, so is he better than Micah Parsons? What does he look like side by side with Micah Parsons? I mean, is he better than Micah Parsons? And I'm telling you, man, look at this. I absolutely love this doggone deal. This deal is crazy that he has right here. Look at this thing. I love this deal he has. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy. It's a 3-year deal. It's basically worth around $30 million a year. He's got the base salary of $32, $30, and $29. He's got the signing bonus. I'm thinking that's what, $5.2 million. He's got the restructure of $2 million, $2 million, another $5 million. He's got a roster bonus of about, what is that, 1.4, 1.5, somewhere in there. It's a great deal. I mean, for him, it's an absolutely great deal. And for them, it's a great deal because they get to walk away from the deal if they want to. Look at this. I want you to look at what they did here. They have zero dead cap money. Boy, that's... Psh. Wow. That's all I can say to that, bro. See, I've been critical of Micah Parsons on some things. But I'll say this about Micah Parsons, one of the things that I do like that he's tried to do. I don't like when he's talking about how much he'll take. I don't like when Micah's talking like that. I don't like when he's talking like that because, one, you need to let your agent do all the money talking. Two, I don't like him talking like that because I'm wondering if what he said is going to come to fruition. Michael said he doesn't have to be the highest paid player. So is he now going to come in below, at least on the fully guaranteed money? Is he going to come in below Crosby? And is he going to come in below Nick Bosa? Y'all tell me what you think. What do you think his deal looks like now? What does this do to Micah Parsons' deal? Because if y'all are going to tell me that Micah Parsons is better than Max Crosby, well, what is his pay then? What does this pay? Nisi said, gee, that's a good point about being healthy. Did we improve that strength and conditioning staff? Now, Nisi, we got a new head of the staff. But from what I saw, we kept the same staff. But we got a new head of the staff. We got to see how that all works out. But Nisi, let me tell you, a lot of people don't understand this. Go back and look at championship years for teams. And it'll blow people's minds when they look and find that in the path of some of those teams that went on to championships, there was a team that people projected to beat them, and that team got injured. I can think about one just, a couple of years back. Do y'all remember when the Philadelphia Eagles played the San Francisco 49ers? And I'm thinking it was who? Hassan Reddick went out there and knocked Brock Purdy's elbow out of place? We do know that people were saying that game was going to be won by the San Francisco 49ers. The 49ers had no answer at quarterback. They literally had no answer at quarterback. On a team that good, they had no answer at backup quarterback. You talking about putting your eggs in putting all your eggs in a basket. They basically just said, hey, man, Brock Purdy's been healthy. He's going to be healthy. What? Knock that man elbow out of place. Change the whole game. Man, sometimes you need luck. And a lot of times you get that luck. Go look at teams' championship seasons. And even when they're totally dominant, you'll find there'll be games. Somebody was hurt. And it made that path even easier. It did. It did. Quincy Swiss is going to take more than the draft pick for Dak. Ice cold. He said, we need Stockers at Walmart. Hey, man, I'm telling you. The Detroit Lions were playing with nobody, man. Wild boy Trey, Ted McMillan in the first. One of those Ohio State running backs in the second, Omari Hampton in the first, and wide receiver Jaden Higgins in the second. Man, they can't lose either way. They can't lose. It's just too many options out there. I'm just telling you. It's too many options. Let me go down a little further. Y'all tell me what you think on this Max Crosby thing, man. This is, I really don't know. I really don't know how does it figure in with Micah Parsons. Micah Parsons has already said he doesn't have to be the highest paid. But again, I say that is semantical from this perspective. So if you don't have to be the highest paid, where do you have to be? Because now Max Crosby has set up a bar. And you think about the bar that Max Crosby has set. Again, Max Crosby is doing to me exactly what I said that Micah Parsons should be doing. When you look at the contract, I'm telling you, look at this. People got to understand numbers. You got to understand numbers. Look at this. Look at what Max Crosby did. This is why I'm telling you, when you start looking at these contracts, these numbers and total values and all that stuff, man, that stuff's fool gold. That's fool's gold. How in the world does Max Crosby jump Nick Bosa when Nick Bosa's contract is worth $170 million, but his is $106? Now, here we go again. So now we got some more interesting information. Now we got another tail of the tape. So now we get to see another real number, the fully guaranteed money. So the fully guaranteed money, here we go again. The fully guaranteed money is actually below Nick Bosa's money. So Nick Bosa, in essence, even though, because kind of what they're going by average per year. It looks like that's where their ranking is, average per year. So Max Crosby is getting more average per year at $35 million. But when I look at the fully guaranteed, Nick Bosa wins again. The fully guaranteed money, y'all, is where it's at. That's the money. That's the money I'm looking at if it's me. What is my fully guaranteed money? And if I'm Micah Parsons, if I'm his agent, my focus is actually the fully guaranteed money. And I don't know why people haven't done this before, but you can actually help your team with the fully guaranteed money, at least in my estimation. I'm not really concerned about, I don't want to deal with roster bonuses. I don't want to deal with all that. No, I don't want to deal with all that. How about this? I'll take a flat $30 million per year guaranteed for years, which gives me the highest fully guaranteed money of any player on this list. Fully guaranteed money. I don't want to hear nothing about the total guarantee. I don't care about the fully. TJ Watt, to me, this is the contract I like. TJ Watt's contract, total value $112 million, average per year 28. I don't care about those numbers. I don't care about being the highest average per year played player. You know what I care about? This is the contract you want. $80 million fully guaranteed, hell or high water. That's the deal I want. And for me, that's the deal Michael should go for. If I'm Michael, that's the deal I'm going for. And Micah Parsons has already said he wants to be a Cowboy for life. I don't think a 3-year deal is going to, they may do a 3-year deal, but Micah Parsons said he wants to be a Cowboy for life, so why do a 3-year deal? Micah Parsons should actually be doing like a 5-year deal. Based on what he said, Micah Parsons should be doing a 5-year deal. And if I'm Micah Parsons, my deal is not focused on these front numbers. All I'm concerned with, especially if I want to be a Cowboy for life. Hey, man, I'm not worried about incentives and all that stuff. Hey, I don't have to be the highest paid average per year. How about this? Hey, man, Give me 5 years even. Give me 5 years, $150 million. Give me 5 years, $150 million. Give me 5 years, $170 million. Whatever the case may be, just give me the guaranteed money. Give me the guaranteed money. I'm sorry if I was, hey man, give me 5 years, $150 million guaranteed. Who else could get that deal? $150 million guaranteed over 5. That's how I would do it. Now, somebody tell me something different if you're a capologist and maybe you can't do that. But if I'm them, this is how I'm rolling. This is exactly how I'm rolling if I'm Micah Parsons. But again, y'all tell me on this Max Crosby contract. I mean, how do you think it affects Micah Parsons? How does it affect Micah Parsons? Because I think Micah Parsons, I think his deal is going to tell us a lot about the Cowboys and what they're going to be able to do. And for me, I would much rather the Cowboys go ahead and get that deal done right now. Just go ahead and get that deal done now so you don't have to keep worrying about this stuff. It just doesn't make sense to keep on just pushing this stuff out there. It just don't make sense to me. But y'all tell me what you think on this whole deal with Max Crosby and Micah Parsons thing. Skull Unknown says, he said the smart thing is to get paid less so you can get some players in free agency. And Skull, this is one of the reasons why I would just focus on the fully guaranteed money. Because the fully guaranteed money tells you where you are in reality versus all that other stuff. C. Burleson, he said Crosby is superb in the run game. He is superb. I hear you. Skull Unknown, Bolton or Sweat isn't coming if Michael gets the higher contract. It's going to tell us a lot. It really is. Freddie, man, let me tell you, man, we've been having some bad weather out here, too. You said a dust storm and watch ice cold. Man, we've been having some crazy weather out here. Ice Cold said Crosby deserves his bag of money. Okay. Whoa, Barry Brown. Do y'all agree with Barry Brown? Barry Brown said, yes, G, he better than Parsons. Blue Star, what's going on, my man? What's going on? Blue Star said, it's okay, G, because remember, Micah said, hey, Blue Star, you already seen the video. You know I've been talking about this. I guess I've been getting some criticism from people about this. I'm not worried about the criticism. I didn't say it. Micah Parsons did. I know people don't like it, but he said it. And you're right. Blue Star, remember Micah said, I don't care about the money. I want to be a Cowboy for life. So I don't expect him to cry when he gets less money than everybody else. And I'm telling you, man, he brought that bargaining chip in and nobody else did. Nobody else did. And so now we're going to see, is Micah going to put his money where his mouth is? I refuse to believe he's going to take less. Woo, man, Dominique. I'm telling you, Dominique, he put it out there. Nobody else put it out there but Micah Parsons. Now, if you talk about it, I know I've already caught some criticism about it. People don't like some of these truths. He said it, not me. I'm just pointing out what he said. That's why when Mina Kimes said what she said, I was laughing. I'm like, hold on, Mina Kimes. What do you mean go and look at the highest paid guy and then just give Micah more money than him? Why would you do that? Because Micah said he don't have to be the highest paid. Now, I will say this in Micah Parsons' defense, if there's a such thing. If they sit down with Micah Parsons and he says, hey, man, I don't want to be the highest paid. He reiterates that again. His agent communicates that with the understanding of, hey, man, go out there and get me Josh Sweat. Go out there and get me Josh Sweat. That's who I want. Go out there and get me that Milton kid. Go out there and get him. Go get me Hassan Reddick. Go get me Nick Bolton. You go get me Nick Bolton. I'll sign right now on the dotted line. Go get those players. I'll sign right now. $27 million per year. 4 years. I'm just telling y'all about me. Where I'm going, And I'm telling you, Shannon Sharp is the one who put me up on game on this. Man, I don't care about all that other stuff. I don't care about all that other stuff. Man, I actually don't want to be worried about, hey, man, if you get 9.5 sacks at the end of the season, you'll get this amount of money. If you get this many tackles, you'll get this amount of money. Man, I don't want to be playing like that. I don't want to be playing like that. I don't want to have to go into meaningless games. What if we got a 14-1 record and there's 2 games to go? I need 3 sacks. I need 10 tackles. I need a fumble. I need an interception. I don't want to play those games. I want to play football. I don't want to play those games. I want to play football. Give me the TJ Watt deal. How much can you give me fully guaranteed without all the mumbo jumbo? I'm a simple man. I never liked calculus or algebra. I don't want to do it. Give me simple math. What is the most guaranteed money you can give me? If I'm Micah Parsons, that's where I'm going. Because if you get the most fully guaranteed money, you actually got the best contract. Because I promise you, these other guys, when you look at those contracts, man, the moment they don't perform, they ready to cut them jokers. And if you keep playing with them, they'll fix it to where you don't get those incentives. They'll fix it to where you won't get those incentives. Mills third six, what's going on, my man? He says, Trey Henderson, how you feel about him, G? He wants out of Cincy. I'll take him. I'll take him on the opposite sideline because he seems to line up opposite side of where Michael goes. I would take him. It all depends on what the Cowboys can get for him. I mean, what is it going to require to get him? I think Hendrickson would be great with Micah Parsons. Man, I'm going to tell you something again. As critical as I've been about Micah Parsons, and most of that has been about his talking, Micah Parsons, I was thinking about this today. When you think about these 3 players, the Cowboys are saying they're going to be the pillar of the organization. Dak Prescott, CeeDee Lamb, Micah Parsons. If I were the Cowboys, I would specifically target a player that complements all 3 of them. I would get a player that complements all 3 of them. What does Micah Parsons need? Okay, you signed Oso Digizua. Micah Parsons likes to rush the passer from the left. What does Micah Parsons need? Micah Parsons needs another edge rusher that lines up on the right side of the field. That's what he needs. Micah Parsons needs another edge rusher. That's what he needs. He needs a bona fide pass rusher. He needs another bona fide pass rusher to where he can use his quickness. And he's undersized as a defensive end. He can use that quickness, the moves, the speed. The speed, the quickness. He can use the strength and all of that against some of these people to where they can't double him as much. People don't understand. One of the reasons, again, you got to look at context on why does he get double more than everyone else. Some of these teams actually have multiple pass rushers. They do. Some of them have multiple pass rushers. A team like the Philadelphia Eagles. Tell me who you're doubling. Tell me who you're doubling. There was not a player on the Eagles defensive line that you could say, well, we're going to take him out of the game the whole game. We're going to double him the whole game and everything else will be fine. No, you had no chance against the Philadelphia Eagles. The Houston Texans are similar. The Rams are similar. You see these teams where they have multiple pass rushers. Even in some respects, the San Francisco 49ers are similar. When you got teams that have multiple pass rushers, who do you double? It all depends on where you're running, which side of the field you're trying to go to. It all depends on the play. You have so many different things you have to figure in with multiple pass rushers. With the Cowboys, it's simple. Double Micah Parsons, we're done. No, just double Micah Parsons, we're done, because no one else is getting there. The only way someone else is getting there is the Cowboys must send 5 or 6. It's hard to win like that. It's hard to win like that. Micah Parsons needs another pass rusher. And for good measure, it'd be great to have him another linebacker to go along with Overshown. And maybe we say that's what Overshown needs, another linebacker, because we're going to have to start considering Overshown is one of the stars on this team if he can stay healthy the whole season. CeeDee Lamb, we already know what CeeDee Lamb needs. CeeDee Lamb needs another wide receiver. He needs a complimentary wide receiver. He needs a wide receiver that is almost as good as he is, if not better than him, because if he's better than CeeDee, CeeDee is a great talent. He'll just push CeeDee to be even better. What does Dak Prescott need? A run game. Dak Prescott needs a run game bad. The line, y'all get ready. The line is already there. They're going to try to work the line with what they have. The line is already there. That's how they see it. Dak needs a run game. CeeDee Lamb needs a receiver. Micah Parsons needs a pass rusher. I would get those three things for all three of them. Because those three things make these three players that much better. Dak with the play action. We can finally stop teams from triple team and CeeDee Lamb. One underneath, one over the top. Somebody bumping him off the line. I mean, all kinds of stuff they do to CeeDee Lamb. We can finally stop teams doubling. The game plan is only to double Micah Parsons. Get someone else they have to worry about. Trey Hendrickson, Mills, I would love it. Wouldn't hurt my feelings. Wouldn't hurt my feelings if they brought him in. They need to bring in somebody. They do. Troy Dudley, I like what you just said here. Crosby is what a defensive end looks like. I like what you said there. I like what you said. Gregory Carpenter, Michael not taking a hometown discount. I will believe it when I see it. If and only if we trade in the work and Michael knows about it, he might then take a discount. Oh, yeah, have a trade in the works. Yes, and that's the issue. Now, if Michael want to stay true to his word, he got to sit down and say that. And maybe this is what they're going to be talking about in this whole thing. But I'll be honest with you. If I'm Micah Parsons, hey, man, tell you what, I just worry about my fully guaranteed money. I want you to go get me Josh Sweat. I think he'd play good with Nick Bolton. Go get me Nick Bolton. I mean, you got to tell him you either do this, or I'm just going to, hey, I got to do what I got to do. Blue Star said Crosby is done for the deal when he could have gone to Super Bowl team or contenders for next year. Woo! Boy, you said something there, Blue Star. And I know where you're coming from. It is not often that a player in his prime gets to test what he's really worth. But somebody must have told him a plan, Blue Star. That's all I can tell you. Somebody must have told him a plan that convinced him to stay, because I'm sure he could have got that money somewhere else. Mills said Eagles had no major injuries. Lions had a bunch of injuries. Yeah, it's a battle of attrition. It is, Mills. You need health, and sometimes, and it ain't sometimes, you need luck. Ask the Golden State Warriors on one of them championship runs. How many teams, how ironic it was, how many teams they faced that were injured. Boy, I'm telling you, it helps. It helps. Freddie says, I still say Michael resigns with Dallas this time. Oh, yeah, I'm sure he does. And then when his new deal is done, he bolts to the Eagles. Now, he said he's going to bolt to the Kansas City Chiefs, but we'll see. Mike and Lamb already said they'll take less, so, yeah, they're willing to if more talent comes in. Well, CeeDee Lamb can't say anything because CeeDee Lamb already got his contract. So he can't say he'll take less. Joey Bosa is the linebacker, not Nick Bosa on the Niners run. I would love for the Cowboys to kick tires on that dude, Bosa. Skull Unknown says $36 million. You talking about per year? Whoo, man, it's going to be tough. But they it's not like they can't afford it, but that's tough. Woo, man, C. Burleson, that $30 million might be going to D-Law, J-Lou, and Rico. I tell you right now, the Cowboys do not bring back Rico Dowdle if he wants more than $4 million a year. I'll be shocked. Cowboys are not bringing back Rico Dowdle at $4 million a year. I'll be shocked if they bring him back at $3 million a year. J. Lou is probably going to get maybe a 2-year deal. They're going to disguise it as a 3-year deal. J. Lou's going to get a 2-year deal. D-Law, we're going to wait and see. But I can tell you right now, D-Law, if he want too much, they're going to let him walk. Data Jet, D-Law ain't worth a fart. He said, cut, please. Well, we don't have to cut him. He's a free agent. Yeah, Nick Bosa is an absolute beast, for sure. Yeah, Greenlaw, but I like Bosa over D-Law. Man, I would love to bring in Bosa. I would. Quincy said, no more injury players. I'm with you. I understand. Garbage team. Won't believe until I see some moves. Hey, Skill, let me tell you something. Monday is going to tell us everything. Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday is the explosion. It's going to tell us everything we need to know. Ron said, I got to see Watt in person in his better years. They were double teaming him and couldn't stop him. You bring him into Dallas with Micah Parsons, they might not be able to stop him again. Skull Unknown says, too much rumors and talking. Skull, you ain't going to have to worry about no more rumors and talking after Monday. Now, you got to understand, Skull, everybody's doing a chess game. Everybody's trying to see, like, who going to say uncle first. Everybody wants to see who is the person that's going to approach the person first. Because we already know, Skull, whoever approaches who first loses the leverage. You lose the leverage when you approach first. You lose the leverage. Blue Star said 4-year deal for Parsons for $20 million. Man, it'd be a fight in that room. It'd be a fight in that room. Mr. J, 5 years, $175 million, $115 million guaranteed. Man, hey, I'm telling you, man, the guaranteed money is where it's at. That is all I would be concerned about. Man, I don't care about all that other stuff. I don't care about that if I'm these players. I want to play football. I don't want to play numbers games. I would tell my agent, hey man, make my contract simple as possible. Make my contract simple as possible. I don't give me no incentives. I don't want none of that junk. Give me a flat rate. That's all I want. Troy Dudley said not paying a linebacker $150 million. And now we know the Raiders will. Hey, Pete Carroll will come in there and say he's going to do something. Clarity A, what's going on? He said, why get all this cap space knowing Jerry not going to do nothing with it? Now, you just asked $1 million question. Because they are going to do something with it. They're not doing this for nothing. They're going to do something with it. They're doing something with it. And they're not, and I'm telling y'all, I've been saying this. Jerry finally revealed a part of the plan. I've been saying this from the beginning. The Cowboys got a plan. Y'all mark my words. They already know who they want in free agency. They already know who they want. There could be others that come available, but they already know who they want. They're waiting. The draft. The Cowboys have solidified exactly who they want on that draft. They already know. You watch what I tell you how the Cowboys run this draft this year. This draft is going to be so efficient for the Cowboys. You watch what I tell you. You are going to see them making definitive picks like boom, boom, boom. Because they already know. They already know. They already know. And the combine really solidified it for them. The Cowboys came from that combine. I promise y'all, they came from that combine saying, we don't have to pick at number 12. And we're still going to be great. We don't have to pick at number 12. We can trade it backwards. We can trade that pick and get 2 more draft picks. We can trade it. I'm telling you, the Cowboys know what they're going to do. It's just a matter of they got to get past this free agency part. And I'm prepared as it applies to Micah Parsons. I'm prepared when it comes to Micah Parsons. I'm prepared for the Cowboys to not sign Micah Parsons this week. I'm not going to be surprised. I'm actually anticipating a deal tomorrow. I'm anticipating a deal tomorrow, Saturday or Sunday. I'm anticipating a deal maybe even Monday or even Tuesday. But I actually think they should do it Sunday. So now you know how, and even if you don't do it, I think they still kind of know how much money they're going to have with the deal somewhere in the ballpark. But I think the Cowboys are going to do it tomorrow, Saturday, or Sunday. I don't see the Cowboys playing on the first day of free agency. But I think they come out swinging on the second day of free agency. I think they want to see who will get picked up on the first day. Because y'all already know the folk on the first day, they go out and spend all the money. Now, what the Cowboys can't do is what they do every year. They wait until the very end and see what's left. They want the scraps. They got to play the second day. Cowboys got to play the second day. If a Josh Sweat is there the second day, you got to get Josh Sweat. If Bolton, guys like that, second day, you got to get them. If there are high-value guys, second day, you got to get them. The Cowboys are going to play, I believe, on the second and the third day. I think this is the 2 days they're going to play. Richard Royster, what's going on? He said it don't work like that once he signed. They're going to do what they want. Yeah, that's why with Micah, we may see him wait until after free agency because they still have the money to do what they need to do in free agency. They have the money. Now, again, we don't have to redo Micah Parsons' contract to be able to play. Dak Prescott deal opened up money. Also, Diggy deal opened up money. CeeDee Lamb's deal opened up money. They actually don't need, the reality is they don't have to do anything. They don't have to do anything with his deal. It's just what gets them even more money to play around with. They can play in free agency. Maybe Micah sits back and says, show me what you're going to do in free agency. We're going to see. Moses said, I believe he will take less. Maybe he talked to Dak and Lamb, and that's why they restructured. Moses, CeeDee Lamb and Dak Prescott's contracts were already like that. Yeah, they had already restructured. They restructured it when they first did the deal. The contracts, those void years, that stuff was already in there. They don't have to ask them to do that. They only have to ask them to do it up front. When they make the deal, they put all this language in there saying, okay, and when we want to do this, we do this. The only time they have to ask the players if it's something that was not there. For example, when Dak Prescott freed up money last year, I think, not last year, it was last year. Dak Prescott freed up some money for whatever reason, like maybe $5 million or something like that. That wasn't planned. So they went and asked Dak about that, if I'm not mistaken. But as far as the void years, they don't have to ask because they've already set it up. Yeah, they've already set it up. Yeah, Richard, it's already in the contract. Exactly. It's already in the contract. They get this all figured up, so they're not worried about it. David Everett, what's going on? Hendrickson retired today. Whoa! Get out of town. Wow. That is crazy work. Let me see here. You said he retired? I don't see where it's showing he retired. I'm seeing as early as 2 hours ago, they're saying for him to seek a trade. Let's go to NFL.com. Maybe they have it on there. I'm not going to doubt you. It just maybe hadn't hit the wire yet. Yeah, it hasn't hit the wire yet. I don't see where they're saying he retired. I mean, if he retired, that would be crazy. Because he seems like he got a lot left in the tank. Yeah. Oh yeah. Yes, Richard. They're already good. Yeah. They're already figuring it into they've already figured it into his too. Yeah, they've already figured it into his too. For sure. Matt D said, is Crosby better than Micah? He isn't faster, but he shows up for his team against good teams when his team needs him. He doesn't just show up against the bums. Woo! Okay, yeah, I was about to say, Skull, no, I was looking at it right here. Yeah, they told him to seek a trade just as early as 2 hours ago. David Everett said, I heard Parsons got 4 years, $144 million. That's $36 million per season. Interesting. We're going to see. I hope they let it drop. I do. Moses said, I might be in the minority. I believe he needs to play linebacker and put beef in front of him. Moses, I've already been ostracized for saying that. I've already been ostracized. I think Micah Parsons would be devastating at linebacker. I do. I think it would be devastating at linebacker. But, hey, Skull Unknown, I've said it before. He needs to be linebacker. That's why he was drafted. Yep. I mean, should have been linebackers versus Green Bay. I agree with you there too. But a lot of people, they again, I got excoriated for it. Mills said, ESPN said Cowboys going heavy after Najee. Oh, I hope not. Why are we going after Najee Harris? I hope that don't turn out to be true. Go in the draft. For me, if you're going to go with Najee Harris, just go and sign Rico Dowdle. Oh, I don't like that. Do not like that at all. Garrett Wilson. Wait a minute. Did I see his name? No, okay. I was about to say, I was wondering, did I see his name on here? Garrett Wilson is probably asking for a trade, and they probably told him he ain't getting it. They probably told him he's not getting it. It's probably why nobody's talking about him. Moses said if the O-line was better, they could still draft Genty. The O-line is the key. Now, let's talk about this O-line for a moment. We'll be waiting on the Micah Parsons deal to come through here in the next couple of days. I would not be surprised if it's tomorrow. And then again, I will not be surprised if we don't even get it until after free agency, because the Cowboys actually have enough money. The Cowboys actually have enough money to be players in free agency. And maybe Micah Parsons want to see if they're players in free agency. And if they're players in free agency, maybe Micah Parsons say, I'll take the discount. So we'll see what happens. Now, when you look at the Cowboys' offensive line, I think the Cowboys feel like the offensive line is already on the team. So right now at left tackle, we have Guyton, left guard Smith, center Cooper Beebe, right guard Zach Martin retired. Let's talk about that. And then right tackle, we got Terrence Steele. And then we got up underneath Tyler Guyton, we got Adoga, and we got Richards, I think it's Richards. Yeah, Awesome Richards. That's who we got up under him. Yeah. So I think they feel like they're going to work with Tyler Guyton. They feel like Tyler Guyton is going to be the left tackle. My man Alex, what's going on? Man, I'm ready, bro. 4 days away from free agency. I'm ready. I'm going to do a marathon that day. Tyler Guyton, left tackle. I got questions here. But everyone is saying that Tyler Guyton is going to be good enough. All right, y'all sit on X? All right, let's see what's on X. Let's see. All right, hadn't seen it yet. Not gonna be. Them dudes on X, man, they be reporting stuff fast, so I wouldn't be surprised. I just don't see anything yet. Don't see anything from Clarence Hill, none of these guys. Okay, not yet. Nothing has popped up yet. Yeah, I don't see anything yet. All right, I'll be on the lookout for that. But yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if that's probably the kind of deal they're talking about as it applies to one Micah Parsons. Let's see. Let me refresh. Yep, don't see anything yet. Yep, I don't see anything yet, but again, I am not going to be surprised. All right, we'll keep a lookout for that, but I'm not going to be surprised. That's probably around the money that they're talking about so they can come in above Crosby. Now, as far as Zach Martin goes, let me tell y'all something. No one is talking about this, and I'm gonna do a video on it tonight. Man, let me tell y'all something. The Dallas Cowboys made a signing a couple of days ago. And when you think about it, this is one of the most incredible signings of the year. Where the money, man, when you talk about value, and I'm talking about pure value as it applies to what this player is getting paid versus how good they play. Boy, y'all better hear me when I tell you. Brock Hoffman deal is an absolute steal. The Cowboys signed Brock Hoffman for $1.1 million. The Brock Hoffman deal, y'all, I'm telling you, I believe that Brock Hoffman is actually the replacement for Zach Martin. Now, people have been talking about moving BB to the right guard. I'm sorry, moving BB to the right guard and moving Brock Hoffman to the center position. Why? BB was incredible this season at center. I would leave BB exactly where he is. Brock Hoffman has played multiple positions for the Cowboys and has done extremely well at those positions, and he is an absolute dog. The Brock Hoffman signing to me was incredible. I'm sorry, man. The Brock Hoffman for $1.1 million, steal. Absolute steal that the Cowboys got this man on. Man, and everyone knows Brock Hoffman is good. No one's doubting it. Just imagine Brock Hoffman. He's got a payday right in front of his face. Brock Hoffman goes out here and beats out Anderson for right guard, and I think he's going to beat him out. Hoffman is going to be starting on this line. They looked way better when Hoffman came into the lineup. Hoffman is going to get paid next season. But for what they got him for right now, boy, best deal they signed. Best deal they signed. Brock Hoffman, $1 million is crazy. Tell it like it is. I tell you this. They're moving different. And I think they're going to do different. For sure. Dave Moore, Aaron Jones, first day of free agency. Back to his home state. Man, Dave Moore, let me tell you something. If the Cowboys get Aaron Jones this year, and they wouldn't get Aaron Jones for Mike McCarthy last year, man. Boy, you want to talk about proof in the pudding of sabotage. To get Zeke when this man McCarthy wanted Aaron Jones. You gonna tell me you gonna throw egg on this man's face and then come back and get Aaron Jones? Ooh, that'd be crazy. Yeah, I saw that Blue Star. He praised the women's flag football team in Dallas coaching, them giving them pep talks, just acknowledgement towards the women's society. Nobody gave him credit for nothing. Yeah, I saw that, man. Dak's just an all-around good guy. All-around good guy. Absolutely love Dak Prescott. Got to get him one. Mr. J, this year it was Chauncey. He was the 8th best in the league. Moses said, fan since 77, I'm glad you have confidence in Jerry and Steven. Jerry is the Trump of the NFLG. Well, hey, let me tell you something, Moses. He about to do something different. And I believe he's moving different. Zaire Brown, what's going on? He said, if I'm trading any receiver, it's DJ Moore. Woo, didn't think about that one. Cortland Sutton, low-risk vet like Adam Thielen. Okay. Free agents, Amari, Diggs, Cup, Deontay Johnson, Keenan Allen, Boyd, Allen Lazard. Brown, I'm telling you, I just wouldn't mind bringing back Amari Cooper if he would come back. I wouldn't mind bringing back Amari Cooper. I wouldn't. Mr. Shotty, it's stupid not to do Micah Parsons' deal. Should have already had it done. He's been begging for a deal. Should have already got it done. He already said he would take less money. They should have already got it done. There's no reason why they shouldn't have got Micah Parsons' deal done. I'm in total agreement with you. Mr. J says, I know, but D-Law was hurt, plus his leadership is rubbing off on the youngins. Hey, I tell you, this sounds like to me Micah Parsons, while he might like D-Law, I don't think he's going to cry if he don't come back. Micah Parsons wants to be the leader of the defense. And I think D-Law makes it harder for him. Mr. Shotty, more money, free agency, less cap hit. Man, I'm telling you, Cowboys going to be ready, man. Mr. J, Micah Parsons might argue with you. Might argue with you. My man Jared, what's going on? I think he will. I think DK would like to play with a great quarterback like Dak Prescott. You know, the problem is, I think he would love to play with Dak Prescott. The money. I think DK Metcalf just sees himself as a $30 million wide receiver. I think DK Metcalf sees himself as a wide receiver who's been shortchanged, that he hasn't played with a quarterback like a Dak Prescott. You know, he hasn't played with that prolific passer. DK Metcalf believes he's that good. And I think he does want to play, but I also think he wants the money to do it too. Tell it like it is. Hey, let me tell you something. We are 4 days away. Boy, I'm telling you, 4 days away. We about to see everything. We're going to see if the Cowboys going to make moves. I think they're going to make moves. I do. Linebacker this draft is kind of weak, so we would be like, man, Bolton would be crazy for us. Bolton would be crazy. Then you get back Sam Williams. That'd be crazy. Sam Hubbard retiring from the Bengals. Okay, appreciate that. Yeah, they gave him permission to seek a trade. Mr. Shotty said, pretty sure it's a team game. Michael can't do it by himself. And again, Mr. Shotty, that's why I said if I was the Cowboys, I would give each of these three players a complimentary player. Michael likes lining up on the left. Get him a guy that lines up on the right. CeeDee Lamb needs another wide receiver. Get him another wide receiver. Dak Prescott needs a running game. Get him not one, get him two running backs. And just for good measure, get him three. Make sure your line combination is right. And if you have any doubts about your line combination, you go in free agency to get some depth just in case. And as a matter of fact, the one player I think the Cowboys need to get in free agency. The kid's name is Hernandez, Arizona Cardinals. The Cowboys need to get Hernandez, Will Hernandez. There is no reason for the Cowboys not to get Will Hernandez. I think he would be great on the Cowboys' offensive line. I would get him. And I'm telling you, Brock Hoffman is so versatile. Man, Brock Hoffman could probably beat out Terrence Steele. I would bring in Hernandez. I would. 29 years of age. He's got some tread on the tires. If I'm the Cowboys, I bring him in. The Cowboys not only need to fill the roster, they need some depth. Because last year, every time we got an injury, it did us in. Yes, sir. Greenlaw's another one of those kids I'd like to bring in. Crosby is more versatile than Micah Parsons. That's the impression I'm getting from a couple other things. King Zealous, what's going on? Micah's the most double and triple team player in the league. Stop saying he doesn't show up. I would like him better at linebacker. Yes, King Zealous, that's where I would want him too. Now, King Zealous, number two, think about context. The reason why I believe he's also double teamed a lot is because he's the best player on the defensive line. And so if all I got to do is stop him, well, I'm going to double team him every time, because if we're going 5-on-4, well, I'm going to double team him every time because I can go one-on-one on the rest of them. So some of that comes into play too. But I bet you this, you get him another edge rusher on the right side, I bet you he won't be the most double-teamed edge rusher in the league again. How much you bet? How much you bet that stat goes out the window? I guarantee you, if you talk to every team that plays against the Dallas Cowboys and they say, what is our strategy to stop the Cowboys on defense? Stop Micah Parsons, double team him. What about the other ones? No one else can get there. Well, of course you're going to double team Micah Parsons. And of course he's undersized. There's no conjecture in that. He struggles against the he struggles against the bigger, stronger tackles. He does. He struggles against them. They can handle him one-on-one. Some of those guys can handle him one-on-one. Mr. J, I already said I would get Khalil Mack too. I would get Khalil Mack. Pass rushing specialist. I would. Yep. Cheap, low risk, high reward. I believe the same thing. They can get him for a good price. Game Bomber, what's going on? Garrett Wilson only wanted out if the Jets weren't moving on from Aaron Rodgers. Yeah, he hated Aaron Rodgers. Y'all, we might be seeing Aaron Rodgers. We might be seeing Aaron Rodgers in New York, but it won't be the New York Jets. It'll be the New York Giants. I think Aaron Rodgers is trying to get with the Giants. Yeah, I think he's trying to get with the Giants. Mills, Tyler Guyton's the key. Got to grow up and get it together. He's the key. Hey, they're high on Guyton. They're saying they've been working on him. They said they've been working on him, and so we're gonna see. We're gonna see. Tony said T.O. from North Carolina. Gee, okay, I have to check that out if you're talking about a player. Darrell Carter, what's going on with you? Think about what Matt could teach Micah. He's practically the same. Man, I'm telling you, I would love to see him on here just for that. Tell it like it is. He got something to say about BB. He said BB and T. Smith was both in the top 12 for pass block win rate and still was ninth in run block win rate this whole NFL. For sure, I do not want them to move BB. Ty Smith, I think, is going to be great. I think we have the offensive line. I really think we have it. The only thing we got to answer now is, are we going to let Brock Hoffman be the right guard, or do they bring in somebody like Hernandez? But either way, Brock Hoffman is going to be the insurance policy. He is definitely going to be the insurance policy. Mills 36 says Greenlaw is going to be the Giants. Is going to the Giants out on Devontae Adams to help Cam Ward out. The Giants are a sleeper team next season, at least 8 or 9 wins. Like I said, I heard Aaron Rodgers is trying to get in that New York Giants locker room. No surprise. Bobby Wagner back to the Commanders. No surprise, man. Bobby Wagner, that Dan Quinn loves him some Bobby Wagner. Mr. J, Tyler Lockett would be a good pickup. He could teach CD way better route running. Okay. 70s fan said that's a fact, Jack. All right, let me go down here to the bottom a little bit more. All right. So, again, the Cowboys, I think the Cowboys have the line. They're settled on their line. But for me, I'm just being honest with you. The offense to me is an easy fix. Wide receiver, linebacker, you figure out your line combination. Decide on whether or not you want to bring in Hernandez. I think the line gets instantly better with Hernandez. No doubt in my mind. See how the guys come off these injuries if they're going to be healthy. I think the line will be ready to go. Running back, easy fix. Many in this draft. I'm praying, Mills 36, they don't get Najee Harris. I do not want to see Najee Harris in Dallas. I just don't want to see it. Wide receiver, easy fix. The Cowboys could actually go, and I really want to see, where does Davante Adams wind up? Where does he end up? Because Davante Adams, as people have been saying, Davante Adams is there for the taking. I just wonder how much will it require to get Davante Adams. Because a lot of people, I'm pretty sure there are a lot of people who see Davante Adams. They see him as a top tier, still see him as a top tier. They still see him as a top tier wide receiver, which is strange to me because Pro Football Focus, they don't even have him ranked, which I'm a little bit surprised. They don't even have him on here. I don't understand that part. Because I know he's out there on the market, but they don't have him on here yet. Nope, they do not have him on here. They got Chris Godwin as the second wide receiver, Cooper as the third, Diggs as the fourth, Hopkins as the fifth. Kind of crazy to me, but Marquise Brown, 37th, Darius Slayton, 39th, Kenneth Allen. These are the top 10. Deontay Johnson, Mike Williams. They don't have Davante Adams. But if I'm the Cowboys, I have got to kick the tires on Davante Adams. I got to see what he wants. Let me see. Yeah, I don't want Najee Harris, but Cowboys are really looking at him heavy. Oh, I hope not. Oh, I hope not. Please, somebody come get Najee Harris. No, I do not want Najee Harris here. No. Freddie says Michael Tyree Miles, he said signed until the end of next year. And to trade him, the boys would have to give up this year's first round pick, next year's. The Cowboys aren't giving up draft picks. I can tell you now. They're not going to give them up. Woo, Calvin Ridley. You know, you could probably get Calvin Ridley for what? Third round draft pick, maybe? I just wonder about Calvin Ridley, though, man. He just hadn't been right. And I wonder if that's the team he's been on. Is it the team he's been on? What is it? Tell it like it is. 28th in run stop win rate, 14th in pass rush win rate. Matthew Turner. They shouldn't try to get Josh Sweat, Khalil Mack, and Joey Bosa. Oh, should, yeah. And Milton Williams alone. Ooh, man. Boy. Man, I'm telling you, Josh Sweat, Khalil Mack, Joey Bosa, Milton Williams, all of them would instantly change this team. Woo, man. Blue Star, but that boy Jamar Chase going to command some money. Matter of fact, I don't even think he's been signed yet, has he? DK and Lockett could link back up with Quinn. Ooh, yeah. Now, I'll tell you this. If there's somebody who would be willing to give away the farm for DK Metcalf, it's Dan Quinn. Dan Quinn would give away the farm in a heartbeat for DK Metcalf. I don't know if he'll be able to do it, but man. Smoke 14. Oh, Smoke one for you. That's the problem. Davante Adams has $28 million left, and that would have to be a 2-year deal for 14-year. Facts, yeah. Now, you tell me, Smoke one for you. Davante Adams, $14 million a year? I'd have to really think about that. I would really have to think about that one. I would. 14, I have to think about that. Dallas can't run. That's why they're 24th on pass block. I bet you they won't be this year. They're going to be a lot better. Watch what I tell you. Lewis Bailey said, I hope that we have better O-line coaches. Exactly. Because they couldn't find a good combo. Coaching was the problem there. I think they're going to find the combination this year. I do think they find the combination. Smoke one for you. Said you do realize we will not have the same OC and OC line coach for sure. Like y'all think this will be the same song and dance? No. I actually think we're going to be better. Smoke one for you. I think we're going to be better in all the way around. Ice Wall Cowboy. He said we told silly fans it was a lie. We don't have the money to. Yes, sir, we did. People got to stop allowing the Jones to pimp them into birthing them and ESPN propaganda love child. Man, we've been saying it. It's amazing. They got the money now. Yes, sir. Shaking my head. DK was never with Dan Quinn. Yeah, he wasn't with Dan Quinn. Actually, he was with Brian Schottenheimer. Maybe I think we're talking about Dan Quinn from the Seattle background, maybe. But, yeah, he doesn't have any association with Dan Quinn. Yeah, thank you for that, Jen. Seahawks said they trading DK by draft day. Woo! Wow. I wonder, well, whoever they trade him to, and he don't have a no trade clause, so it ain't like he can make them not trade him. But whoever they trade him to, man. You know, it's funny, though, when you have the rights to players, and they don't have a no trade clause. In actuality, DK Metcalf can say anything he want to. But the Seahawks can trade him to whoever they want to. That's the bottom line. They trade him whoever they want to. Don't even matter. If Dallas and Tampa Bay make the money work, would you trade for Mike Evans? Man, that money would have to be cheap, Zaire. You know what? I'll be honest with you guys. And y'all tell me what you think. But honestly, I think the Cowboys would be better off going to the draft for the wide receivers. I just think they would be better off. Just go get the wide receivers and just go get them from the draft. I wouldn't even worry about any of these guys who are out here unless you can get an absolute silly deal on a Devontae Adams or a good deal on DK Metcalf. Other than that, man, Chris Godwin has been hurt year after year. They got him as the number 2 ranked wide receiver. I would take Amari Cooper in, but Amari Cooper is not going to take a lot of money. I mean, any of these other guys, man, I'm going in the draft. I'm not even wasting my time on anything past Amari Cooper. I'm not wasting my time. I'm just not. This draft is too loaded with wide receivers. I'll go in there and get my guys ready to go for the year. Jamar Chase is still a free agent. I feel like the Bengals are doing Jamar Chase wrong along with T. Higgins. Okay, I wonder why they don't have Jamar Chase on the free agency list. I can tell you what they're doing with Jamar Chase. They playing hardball with that boy Jamar Chase, man. The Bengals playing hardball with that boy. Shh. They playing some serious hardball. And the fact that they put the boy T. Higgins, I bet that dude crying. I mean, you can't cry. They got him on a franchise tag, but golly, man. Another man says right here, this was just a day ago, talking about this thing with Jamar Chase. Said they got a bad report on this. Got a less than ideal update from NFL insider Ari Mirov about the latest with the Bengals and Jamar Chase, T. Higgins, and Trey Hendrickson. Crazy. If they want to keep all 3 players, they got to get to $40 million per year for Jamar Chase. Whew. $30 million for T. Higgins. 32 to 33 for Trey Hendrickson. Gosh. I can tell you right now, the Cowboys will not get Trey Hendrickson. If he's commanding $30 million and up, it ain't happening. It says they're nowhere close on all 3 of these right now. Okay, now let me see when this is. Yeah, this is dated here. Okay, so Jamar Chase is entering the last year of his rookie deal. He's actually on a 5th-year option. There's nothing he can do. Jamar Chase can't do anything. Nope. Jamar Chase can't do anything. So the only thing Jamar Chase can do another hold in as he did last year, there's nothing he can do. So they've already did the thing with T. Higgins. I think they already said they're going to hit him with the franchise tag. Hendrickson, we don't know what they're going to do. Man, that Bengals organization, boy, you talk about the Cowboys being a mess. That is an absolute hot mess right there. And T. Higgins again, man, again. Ajmadale, he hadn't got paid yet. He's on that 5th-year option. If I'm not mistaken, unless I'm wrong here. Yeah, this article was just on March the 5th. Now, he's already under contract. You're right about that. He's on that 5th-year option, and they're paying him, I think that's somewhere around $25 million, but he's not going to get the deal. At least it doesn't look like he's going to get the deal again. Yeah, he's not a free agent. He's on his last year, and I guarantee you they're going to franchise tag him just like they're doing Higgins. Robert Simmons, I wouldn't mind getting Cooper Kupp if we still draft a wide receiver. Yeah, with Cooper Kupp, you have to draft a wide receiver. And Cooper Kupp, man, he got to take a serious discount. Kupp got to take a discount. Smoke one for you. Y'all say we play hardball. The Bengals. I'm just saying that, Smoke One for you. Boy, I just said that, boy. You said the Bengals are way worse. Just a small market fact. Boy, yeah, they putting them players through the ringers over there, man. 70s fan, T. Higgins got the franchise tag. Skull said Cup healthy is better than all of them free agent receivers. You know what? A lot of people been talking about he might come to Dallas. We'll see. Alex says, I think we should trade for Henderson. Man, if he want $30 million, he ain't getting it. Because if he want $30 million, then what is Miles gonna want? Nah, he ain't getting it here. Yeah, they franchise tag Higgins for sure. All right. Yes, sir. All right, guys, man, I'm still working on the studio. I hope to be back in there in the next couple of weeks. My wife was getting on me today. She was like, this thing better be immaculate when you get back in there. But we're going to have a whole new setup in the next couple of weeks. Y'all keep rocking with me. Look like I think I may try 4 o'clock. I noticed at the 4 o'clock hour, because we got so many of our content creators, man, I do not want to compete. I know a lot of us check out a lot of these guys, so I want to try to get in where I can fit in. But I think I'm gonna stick with 4 o'clock. Appreciate everybody in the chat. Alex, the 49ers are actually in full rebuild mode, if you ask me. They're in rebuild mode. And when they sign that quarterback, they're in rebuild mode. Mills, boy, please don't let it happen. Please do not let it happen. I can't with this Najee stuff. I can't. Alex, they trying to trade Ayuk from what I heard. Yeah, Cup would probably be a better deal than Adams. He'd probably take less money. Tell it like it is. I'm saying the same thing. Bro, we might as well keep Rico. To me, they're the same running back. I would actually rather have Rico than Najee. I don't want no part of Najee Harris. I don't want no part of it. Boy, I'd be mad if they do that. Appreciate you, Ice Wild Cowboy. I'm pretty sure there'll be more tonight. Oh, man. Boy, Mills, you are speaking curses on us right now. Oh, man, no way. No way it can't happen. Zaire said the Cup is not better than Tay. Okay. Oh, you talking about Devontae Adams. I got you. Give me Adams in the draft, a wide receiver in the first round. Oh, that'd be great, too. That'd be great, too. Hey, Smoke One for you. I did a video on him already. That boy Marcus Jones, man. Somebody turned me on to him. Woo, he the truth. He the truth, boy. I hope they get him in the 5th round. That boy the truth. Alex, appreciate that super chat. Yes, sir. Y'all hit that like button on the way out, man. I appreciate y'all for rocking with me. We'll be back tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Hope we have some more news on the Cowboys. I'm hoping we have a Micah Parsons deal by tomorrow, so we can put that behind us, and then we can really go into free agency and know what we're doing. You know, I just think the Cowboys need to get the Micah Parsons things done. It's just, it don't make sense. The guy's been begging them to sign him. He said he'll take less money. Man, go ahead and sign the guy. Gosh, he's a great player, man. Great player. Cup, lead a team to the Super Bowl. Haven't seen Adams, DK do that, but Adams is definitely good. Yeah, for sure. Yes, sir. Sign J.K. Dobbins for $4 million. Better than Rico. Man. Whew. Man. Boy, they hurt my feelings. They better go in this doggone draft and get these running backs. KC, I'm with you. It is nice to finally see them build around Dak, and they're going to do it. They're going to do it. Bengals sit while you in second wife. Man. Troy Dudley, them Bengals is, boy, they terrible in that front office, man. They terrible in that front office. CJ Godwin, Mr. J, I don't like CJ Godwin. Not that I don't like him, but CJ Godwin just doesn't stay healthy enough for me. I couldn't deal with it. All right, guys. Again, appreciate y'all rocking with me. See y'all again tomorrow at 4 o'clock. Until the next time, let's talk Cowboys and we talk facts. Peace.